Yes, people, and welcome back to Normski TV, another What's Going On podcast. Please hit that like button, subscribe, and share if you are new. We are going to be talking all things football, all things transfer, pre-season games. Right now, Arsenal are losing 1-0, so right now I'm not in a very good mood. I know it's only pre-season, but listen, I've just seen the defending absolutely terrible. How can man is getting in front of Partey? I can't remember who the goal scorer is, but we got to do better. We got to do better than this. And listen, we need to round off the season in good spirits. I know we've got Man City. Hold on, nearly there. We've got Man City. I'm getting distracted. We've got Man City at the weekend on Sunday, the Charity Shield. Eddie Nketiah is up front. Don't get it, mate. Eddie Nketiah up front. Big up to Craig. Haven't seen you for a little while still, mate. 1-0. Yeah, not good. I've just seen the goal. Defending wasn't brilliant either. We got to do better than this. Going into pre-season, you don't want to be losing to Monaco. And obviously, we've got the game against City on Sunday. So we got to do better than that defensively. Hopefully, we will end up winning this game. But at the moment, we're losing 1-0 at home. It looks like Arsene Wenger's in the crowd as well. So good to see him there. Big up to you. As I said, don't see him for a little while, Craig. Arteta needs to have a word with himself after. Yeah, that's another thing. I didn't realise. I've just seen that. Big up to you, Geezer. Yeah, we're playing now. Emirates Cup. It's only one day. Normally it's played over the weekend. It's normally played over the weekend, and you have two games, but today it's just the one game, and then we get ready for the big Charity Shield game against. Looks like Monaco's running us a little bit ragged at the moment. But listen, we got to do better. But anyway, let's crack on. So you've been away. That's where you've been, Canary Islands. I hope you had a great time, Craig. And yeah, we're back on again. Let me, without further ado, introduce the guests. So let me just bring on Mr. Big D. Mr. JP, I'm not too sure if the other lads are going to be coming on tonight. They haven't said anything to me, but hopefully might be joined by a special guest, Chelsea supporter. So we'll watch that space and see what he's got to bring to the table. So people, how are we doing? First of all, let's go to Big D. How are we doing?
Yeah, bro, I'm all right, A little tired, but yeah, you know already. Just
burning the candles at both ends, yeah?
And just making it do what it do. Yeah,
right.
All good though, man. All good.
Yeah. I'm looking. Oh my God!
Get over and get stressed out. Focus.
I'll tell you what we do defensively. I don't know what we're doing.
No,
we're all over the shop,
man. It's pre-season, man.
I know it's pre-season, but come on, man. Look at this. How you let the man? Oh my God! Anyway, let me not stress. Let me stress. So D, you're saying you've been working hard and blah 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 blah.
Yeah. We all right though, man. We all right. That's why I said to people: sleep when you need to sleep. As you get older, you just sleep when you need to sleep, and not worry about who's telling you that. Well, you sleep in the afternoon because I need to. Simple as that, mate. Yeah, man. But it's all good though.
Yeah.
All good.
Yeah, man.
And then as well, I stayed up and watched a couple of them late games as well, which I probably should have done.
We'll go into our pre-season. Yeah, we're going to look at some of our pre-season games. We're going to talk about that tonight as well. Mr. JP, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, mate. I'm good, man. Been a good week. Can't complain. I was saying to you guys back, we had some good friends stay over with us for the weekends. It's nice to see people you ain't seen for a while.
Yeah,
it's nice, man.
Cool. Oh, that's good to hear. But listen, let's crack into the show and just go over what we're going to be talking tonight. So first of all, we're going to just be answering about how our teams are faring in the pre-season right now. My team ain't faring too well right now. I think we've currently got a corner. Hopefully we'll score from this. And no, we don't. And we've got Eddie Nketiah up front as well. I don't know if Jesus is injured or what, but he's not even on the bench. And this is the problem, guys. You know, you cannot just go with Eddie Nketiah. He's not good enough as a backup to Jesus, and we need what I deem as an out and out striker that can give you 20 plus goals. So we're going to struggle if we get a situation where Jesus is out for any prolonged period of time. I'm not going to be happy with that. But it seems as if Arteta doesn't want to go with an out-and-out striker. He would prefer, playing more attacking players, false nine. So we'll just have to watch his space concerning that.
Yeah, but no, listen, Harry's available. By the way, big up Tom. Big up yourself, man. Yeah, but Harry's available, and he's Junior Bayern. Yeah, and so I don't know. I mean, would he cross the never cross the North London line? Would he ever do that? I'm not sure.
Listen, that's a massive. That's the big $100 million question. Yeah,
because you could hijack that, Norman. You could hijack that. I'm sure his wife would be grateful to stay in London rather than Germany.
I'm sure he would. I mean, he won't probably go down as well as Sol Campbell, who crossed the divide. I mean, he went on a free as well, didn't he? So it's kind of similar scenario. Harry Kane has got 1 year left on his contract, and we are going to go into Harry Kane. And the second one here is both Premier League clubs wanting at least 100 mil for their respective players. Will the deals get done? And this season, you know what I'm talking about there. Chelsea going after Caicedo, and Bayern Munich going after Harry Kane. So still there's talks going on. They've flown over to speak with Daniel Levy. Will it get done? I don't know. 100 million is what Daniel Levy wants. But will it happen? Who knows? I mean, there was talk that if the Premier League kicks off and he's not sold, there's a likelihood they're saying that Kane, this was in the Sky Sports, that he's likely to stay at the club. Yes, Junior. Yeah, he's likely to stay at the club. So some people might say he has no ambition. As
in sign a new contract, Norman, or stay on the free?
No, there's no new contract signed. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's what I mean about stay at the club. Like, as in sign a new contract. Well, for free.
I don't know.
What I'm saying? Yeah,
I really don't know. I mean, I don't know what would be his best interest. I mean, we can put that question out as well with regards to that. So I will actually come back to that. And also, are we likely to see European leagues potentially get in bed with the Saudi Pro League? Okay, we've seen what's going on with golf, F1. Is there a possibility with the way these guys are moving, and the money that they've got to spend, it is absolutely ridiculous. And then the last thing is Chelsea leading the way in offloading deadwood. How's your respective teams doing in this window? Are we getting rid of the deadwood? And we'll talk about that. So let's first of all let's touch on our teams. I know you guys had a very good result against us in America, beating us 2-0. How did you feel after that? How was your Real Madrid and Dortmund? What was your take on Man United, and are you happy with the way things are going in pre-season, or do you want to see more from your club?
For me, no. For me,
silence is golden. I like that.
No, for me, no. But I would say there's been good moments of play, but I just don't like the mismatched teams. Like, just play your first 11 for 45 minutes and let us see what that looks like, and then play the kids in the second half, or vice versa. But this trying to combine, like, put half of them with the and half of them with that, I'd be like, no, because when you're winning games, these are the guys that you want to be comfortable with. And so play your starting 11 that you're thinking of playing before you get any more transfers in, if they come in.
Yeah.
And then the second half, you just say, okay, I'm playing the reserves now, because I'm not trying to play these guys in America.
I didn't watch the game, the Real Madrid game or the Dortmund game. So what was your assessment, apart from the mixed matching and all of that, what was your assessment overall over both games? Jake, what was your assessment, in terms of what you want to see from Man U? I know I get it with the mixing and mix. You really want your first 11 as near to your first 11 to be playing now, because we're now only about under 2 weeks before the season kicks off.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Sorry.
No,
sorry. Go ahead. Sorry. Yeah.
No, the Dortmund game, I only watched the highlights of that. I didn't stay out for that game. But from what I could see, they actually played okay. They dominated possession at times. Just poor, looked like poor defending gave away most of those goals.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and I think both the Dortmund game and the Real Madrid game, I think both of them highlighted we don't have a striker. I'll need to fill that striker position. Have we filled it with Hojlund? Not sure, but anyway, sounds like a good, promising kid that we've got coming in. And with Real Madrid, I watched that one. There was times where we played okay. Against, they were a class above. They did actually look like there was a class above us at times.
They could. Do you think they could have gone up another gear, basically?
Yeah, and they were early. That's like their early preseason.
Eddie Nketiah just scored. Come on, get in there. Sorry.
Oh, Eddie, come on, no.
Don't say sorry. Don't say sorry, Norms.
Do not go there. Yeah,
yeah. You were just getting vexed with Eddie, bro.
Listen, but he needs. Now, guys, I know. What's his name? Just put it in the chat. But let me say this to you, yeah. Whereas Haaland needs one chance, or Harry Kane needs one chance, Eddie needs 3 or 4 chances. At this level, that can't happen. At this level,
yeah, but no, you have to remember, right? When we had York and Cole, and Jason may or may not agree with this, I always felt that Andy Cole needed 3 to score 1, where York was a bit more
clinical.
Yeah, more clinical, yeah. But then, to your point, Fergie used to play 2 strikers, so it wasn't just noticeable. Like when Cole was missing certain ones, you were like, okay, fair enough. But I always said that Andy Cole needed 3 chances to score 1 goal, where Dwight York was like, give him 2, he's definitely scoring 1 out of the 2. Yeah. But when they played together, it didn't matter because you got that. But when these guys are playing a lone striker, it actually matters that the guy at the top doesn't need 3 or 4 chances to score, especially when he's through on goal or he's in the 6-yard box when he should have got his foot to it or his head to it. So it's a different vibe there. But
obviously under Fergie, under Arteta, Arsene Wenger, we a lot of the times, both our teams, well, pretty much a lot of the teams played 4-4-2.
Yeah, so, and we had 4 strikers, Norm.
Right.
4 strikers, not one main striker.
Right.
And
And for me, that's what I'm trying to say. So what you make a very good point that when you got those 2 playing together, York and Cole, it wasn't noticeable because Cole was banging. Yeah, sorry, not Cole. York was banging, and Cole was banging as well. But as I said, he needed more chances. But you see, the thing is with Eddie Nketiah, and you play. Arteta's not going to play that system where he plays 4-4-2. He's going to always play a 4. He's always going to play some sort of false 9 or players that play across the front 3. That they can be versatile, interchange and whatnot. I think Trossard is probably our best player at doing that kind of thing.
I was about to say that. Yeah. Where is Trossard in the false 9? That's who you would play in the false 9 without Jesus.
Yeah. And the thing for me with Jesus, like, listen, I like his energy, I like his tenaciousness, I like his hard work. I absolutely like that. But he has to add goals to his games. It's essential that.
But that's never been his game, though. No, that's essentially that wasn't his game.
I know that. So if we know this, listen, last season, I think we were second with the most amount of goals scored. Behind Man City. So we was getting goals from pretty much everywhere, our front, especially our front 3. Eddie Nketiah, not Eddie Nketiah, sorry, Saka, Martinelli, Odegaard coming in with 15. Granit Xhaka, who's now left the club, coming in with 7 goals and that. So we all contributed to scoring those goals. I think with Man United last season, you didn't score enough goals. And you can see that's very evident. Now, you brought in this Hojlund guy, Jason. I know you made a point about Hojlund. That is a potential. Now, I'll ask a question, and this is for the chat as well. do you think paying, with add-ons and everything, this could work out to be anywhere up to 72 million for a guy that scored 9 goals in his, respect league, and on competitions, I think it's 15 goals, 9 goals. Spending 72 million on potential, is that a good move? And
are we talking add-ons, Rob? Are we talking with add-ons?
With add-on, yeah. So it would come to 72. I think the flat fee is like
64, right?
Yeah, but would rise to 72 million.
See, if it rises, we're fine.
Yeah.
So if it rises, that means we've been successful. So they put this into Banana, Mason Mount. Those add-ons are all based on Man United winning Champions Leagues and Premier Leagues and stuff. So if we're paying the add-ons, then it's worked, right? We're pretty happy with that.
Yeah.
So I don't mind.
And the thing is, right, the kid has to be allowed to settle. I think this has always been my thing, because we've always allowed this. And one of these Man United fans on Twitter posted about Wayne Rooney. He said it took Wayne Rooney 3 seasons to score 20 goals in all competitions. It took Wayne Rooney 6 seasons to score 20 league goals. Ronaldo took 4 seasons to score 20 goals in all cops and 5 seasons to score 20 league goals. Right? Now, whether you think the league is harder or softer, we just can't expect this guy to turn up this season and bang 20 goals. I think that's unrealistic. If he does it, he's a bad man. If he does it, he's a bad man.
If he does it, he's Hojlund, right? But
exactly.
the thing about that is, the Man United then, we had other guys banging in goals.
Exactly.
If they brought this guy in to be that guy, it's a lot for the poor kid.
It's a lot of pressure on his head.
His record of goals to starts is actually very good. Right, when you look at the amount of games he started, his record, it's pretty dark. It's pretty good. But I sent you something as well, D, because it looks like there's some other striker they're trying to add to the book, some cheap guy from Santos or something in Brazil.
So with Hojlund coming to the side, do you think obviously he's going to be playing in a much better side? Do you think there's a likelihood that he could, increase that goal tally from obviously last season was 9?
I think he'll get more than 9. I think he'll get more than that.
And the reason why he'll get more than 9 because Jason's brethren is going to get injured. Right? I'm not saying his name because I love Jason, so I ain't saying that.
Jason don't want to be. Jason don't want D swearing at him today. So,
but Jason's brethren is going to get injured, so it will force the kid to play more games. Because the truth is, he's supposed to be a backup to you know who, when in fact he's going to end up being the main guy.
He's the main guy.
He normally signed a 5-year contract plus 1 year on 60k a week. So that's telling you that he is the backup guy on 60k a week, not the main guy, but he will become the main guy pretty much.
As well as that, though, Norms, they can be sensible now with the way they sign players, right? Because what we were doing before was signing a guy on 50 grand a week and then giving him 350, which is basically what we've done with
Sancho.
Like, who does that?
Exactly.
And now the roost is come over to roost.
So this guy was on some full money, like was it 700,000 a year?
Yeah.
Wow.
So like giving him 56, that's massive. That's a massive increase anyway. But for a club like Manchester United, it's a basic wage.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's the sort of thing you would. That's the sort of. Mind you, saying that your longest serving defender, Jones. I mean, how much is he on? I mean, is he got? Can I just ask a question? Is he gone now?
He's gone.
Yeah,
He's
definitely sure about this.
Yeah, he's gone.
His contract.
Is he going to come back?
I know
his contract ended. His contract ended, isn't it?
So he's going to come back and do. So he can't even do a testimonial, or does?
He turned it down.
Yeah, he turned it down. Yeah,
I don't know why he turned it down. Because only his mum and dad would turn up.
And that was his words, even though I run a joke, but that's what he said in the interview. Yeah. And they were like, no, people will come and support you. No, I'm not convinced. I think because he knows that the injuries let him down, or let his career down in a way. because he wasn't an awful defender. He just could never stay fit. And then even when he in that last 2 years, no one spoke about him, so you didn't even know what's wrong with him. As in, is he injured? Yeah. Is it mental health? Is it what's going on with? So you kind of felt a bit bad for him because you couldn't even talk about him, or the manager never spoke about him. You just saw him every now and again in a Man United video on the training pitch or whatever. You're like, oh, he is about still. So,
I'm also hearing Johnny Evans could get
Johnny's staying, Norm. He's staying.
A 1 year deal, which is now jeopardizing the future of your Harry Maguire.
Do you know what? I won't mind that. You know, I don't mind that.
It don't bother me. Well, because
I heard that Ten Hag says he likes his work ethic. He likes the fact that he can play out of the back comfortably. I mean, he's 35 years old, and for him to say, "I'd rather keep him than Harry Maguire," says a lot.
But you know what?
Says an awful lot.
He was Leicester's best defender before he got injured, and when he got out of that team, Leicester couldn't defend for love or money without Evans. Yeah. And here they are now in the Championship.
Yeah.
And I think that's why. So he got released because obviously something in his contract said, well, he's not going now to play in that Championship. But they released him, and then because he got the contacts, okay, come and do a little pre-season with United, see how it works out for you.
And as a result of it, it's gone quite well, and so there's a likelihood that he can get a year's contract.
He'll play maybe 8 games for us, cup games and whatever. Because the thing is, he doesn't trust Varane's fitness, does he? And I think that's where I look at that and say, you don't trust Varane, and we can go Lindelof and then Luke Shaw switch him, and then he doesn't want to go Harry because he just don't like the mistakes. So then it would be Evans. So there's 3 people going to get injured before Evans starts a Premier League game. Yeah. That's how I look at it for this year. And then either in January or next summer, you address the centre-back issue because Varane's going to be a year older. And then you go from there again, no? Yeah. Go from again because he's got to protect Varane. He's got to protect Varane this season. Yeah. You need him for the key games. You need that partnership.
He tries to protect him all the time. But
the good thing is, Jason, he's not flying off the France games now. He's done with that. So that's a bonus as well. He's not playing for France anymore.
He's retired.
Yeah, which is cool. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, as for our club, we lost against you guys, and I think when I looked at that game, you guys looked a lot fresher, looked a lot quicker to the ball. You wanted it more. And
is that the game we beat you twice?
Yeah, that one. That
one. You had to throw that one in, didn't you? That was the game you beat us twice. Pointless.
That was funny.
Pointless penalty shootout. Why I don't know.
But it's your manager's idea.
It's our manager's idea. But listen,
Normally, we was talking about the whole players under pressure because it feels like this can happen. So we should do this in pre-season. So I get it to a point. But when you would have lost the first game originally, then just shake hands and say, you know what, forget the penalty team.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And as I said, in that game, I say Man United looks much sharper. And then we go away from that game. Obviously, you guys go and play Real Madrid. You played okay, but you got beaten. Then you played against Dortmund. You know what I mean? I think, did you guys score the first goal in that game, the Dortmund game?
No, we went behind.
Oh, did you go behind?
Yeah.
Okay, right. But anyway, you ended up losing that game 3-2. So how many games have you got left now in the pre-season now?
2 more.
2.
Right.
But I think one of them, it's going to be 2 separate sides because they're back to back. One's Friday, one's Saturday or something.
Yeah. Okay. So it's going to do the youth thing.
Yeah. And I know, as you said, the leading now, we're quite close now to the Premier League starting. So you would ideally want him to say, right, this is my first 11. Or near as my first 11. Let's go with that. But anyway, coming back to Arsenal, we then go and play after sort of getting beaten by you guys. I was thinking, right, Barcelona. And I think with Barcelona, they were a bug, some sickness bug had gone through the squad. So some people could say it was because it was coming out of that, but. To be honest, we went behind in that game. Ramsdale for two of the goals, I was thinking he could have done better. And you got some people even saying now he's on fraud watch, because his distribution that game was terrible in terms of.
But you're being linked to the Brentford goalkeeper, like,
yeah,
is that true?
Yeah.
It's personal terms have been agreed. And that you're looking at, and the look on your face, Jay, it's crazy. It's baffling because you're thinking, well, why would you go with? Funny enough though, Arteta actually, when we was going for a keeper, not last season, the season before, he was top of our list. Raya was top of our list, and then we was going backwards and forwards, but we didn't end up getting him, and he ended up staying with Brentford, and then we ended up
two number ones. We're gonna have two number ones,
right? And this is the big thing because yes, some people are saying, is he coming to replace Ramsdale? No, that's not what he's coming to do. He's providing competition for him, but there's some areas of his game. His kicking game is better. His passing at the back is better. Shot stopping, I'm not too sure, but apparently he's like one of the third or fourth best keepers in the league. But having two number ones, is it that Arteta wants to go for full strength and depth? And how many games is he going to play? Because surely, if you're coming in for that kind of fee, I think Brentford want 40 million. I think Arsenal are looking to put in a bid of around about 25 mil as a opening bid. But he's turned around and said to the club, and the club have openly said, like, we are going to sell him, and he wants to go to Arsenal. So that's what he was linked with Bayern Munich, but he doesn't want to. I think it's Bayern Munich, yeah, but he doesn't want to go there. He wants to go to Arsenal.
Yeah, but no, I don't see him coming to sit on the bench.
That's what I'm saying. I can see that. I look at it and I see the baffling looks. I mean, the guy on TalkSport, what's his name? The ex-Liverpool player. He's on TalkSport. I can't remember his name. He was just as baffled as well, and even Adbon Hall was saying it doesn't make sense to bring in two number ones.
It doesn't though.
Is he coming to sit on the bench, or is he going to be Arsenal eventually number one? I don't know. But if we end up spending 35 million on them, I'm thinking, because Matt Turner now, I'm hearing that Matt Turner now is linked with a move to Nottingham Forest. So I don't know, but
that's not good for us.
It is generating a lot of pace, gathering a lot of pace, and it's something that looks like that could happen. It looks like it could happen. So we'll just have to watch this space. Listen, it will have, in terms of within the league, two top quality keepers.
That's a bit weird. In the NFL, right, they say if you've got two quarterbacks, you've got none.
Right.
You got to know who your guy is. When in certain positions, you got to know who your guy is.
Yeah.
And you got to know who you know. That's a good point. That is a good point. Yeah.
That position, who's your guy? You got to know.
Yeah.
Because it screams of no confidence, no.
Well, listen. If I'm the keeper,
me, does, you know what I mean?
What I'm trying to say, if I'm Ramsdale, and I'm hearing that Arsenal going in for a keeper, and they're looking to bid anywhere up to 40 million, I'm going to be like, hang on a minute, what's going on here? You're automatically going to think that. Yeah,
I'm knocking his door, Norman. I'm knocking his door.
I say, what's going on?
What happened with this? Allow it. Don't bother with that. Like, you got backups. I'm your guy. Yeah. And if you're not convincing me that I am his guy, sell me.
Yeah. Let me go.
Yeah. So if it does go through, the deal goes go through, the likelihood is that Matt Turner will leave and go to probably another Premier League club. And as I said, he's linked with Nottingham Forest. So if that happens, it happens. Then we'll just have to just watch how this all plays out in the season. Do you know what I mean? Because there's going to constantly be speculation around Ramsdale. And the minute he makes a big, boo-boo, you know what I mean? People are going to be going, right, is Arteta going to be like, right, we need to take you out of the firing line or whatever. And I think, I mean, he wouldn't just do it straight away. And I think he would have to have like a number of bad games for him to then be sort of pulled out of the firing line and then my man coming in.
But if you remember our mess, Jason, under Ollie, when he had the girl and Henderson, and then the guy's missus went back to Spain to have the baby, and then he came back, and then he was like, "What's going on?" He's like, "Well, You better wait. So, and then they said that David De Gea was such a nightmare in the changing room that Ollie was forced to put it back as number one. And then Henderson just lost his head. Like, no, you promised me this. You told me I was better than him. And then in the end, Henderson goes out on loan. And, you know what I mean? You don't need that message. No, it's a distraction in the season.
Yeah. No, 100%. I mean, I was taken aback when I heard it. When I saw the I think it was David Ornstein or Fabrizio on their Twitter feed, and I was like, sure. And since then, it's been gathering pace. You know what I mean? So as I said, we just have to watch this space and see how this all unfolds. You know what I mean? And then obviously the future of Matt Turner is that if we buy him, Matt Turner's definitely gone. 100%, you know what I mean? Yeah. Definitely gone. But yeah, just going on about preseason. I know Chelsea won the summer Premier League.
Yeah, I didn't get that one either.
Yeah, they beat Fulham.
Premier League,
they beat Fulham. I think there was a number of teams in that. I suppose the good thing about it, then I think you had reservations about us playing teams
each other. Yeah, sure,
because. I mean, for some people, they said, well, it's good because, the advantage is that they can see how their opponents are in terms of in preparation for the league. And the game was played at a little bit more higher tempo, you know what I mean? Because if you look at Liverpool, Liverpool haven't really played anybody. Same with Tottenham. They haven't really played anybody, you know what I mean? Liverpool beat Leicester in a preseason game in wherever they were playing 4-0. And then, as I say, if any teams that have really kind of played of anybody of any sort of stature is obviously we've played Real Madrid, not Real Madrid, Barcelona. We've played you guys and what. Yeah. But some people said it's good the fact that they are playing each other. But then again, the negative side of that is that they could be too overzealous and end up getting injured and ended up missing maybe the start of the season and stuff like that. So. Again, we'll see what happens. But yeah, Chelsea are looking. I mean, I haven't really watched any of the games, but from what I've heard and from what I'm reading online, Chelsea are building a team, and are doing quite well in preseason. I think they've won all their preseason games. I might be wrong, but they seem to be doing quite well. And sort of under Poch with the young players that they're bringing in and stuff like that. They seem to be gelling in well. And as I say, Poch likes to work with a much younger, breed of players and stuff like that. So he seems to be doing well. The young players that he's got in the strikers or the players that play attacking.
Yeah, they were saying that what's his name, Nicholas Jackson. Apparently he's doing all right.
And Nkunku guy as well. They seem to be doing all well. I suppose for them, and we can actually kind of move on to this. And that question I was posing is the both Premier League clubs wanting at least 100 million for their respective players. Now we know Brighton are holding out for 100 million. Chelsea obviously don't want to pay that price. I think they had a bid recently rejected for £80 million. And it looks like Brighton are holding out for 100 million. I think if the deal does get done, it might be more closer to the 90 plus million, which I would assume would have their add-ons and stuff like that on there. But I think bringing in Caicedo into that side will make a world of good, in partnering up with Enzo as well. And when you look at Caicedo, he's only 22 and doing brilliantly for Brighton. And as I said, we was linked with him last January, and we bid. I think we put in a bid for 70 million, got rejected. He came up crying out, went on Insta or his Twitter saying that he wanted to thank the fans, the Brighton fans, and
he was trying to force it, weren't he?
Yeah.
And maybe he has to do the same, Norm.
Yeah,
if he really wants to go to Chelsea, force the move.
Oh my God! Oh,
force the move.
Jeez. Sorry. They just hit the post. Oh, we're useless, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. Yeah.
He has to force the move, Norm. If he wants it, force the move. Hand in a transfer request. That way, you lose your signing on bonus. If you put a transfer request in, if you want to go that badly, and they've offered 85 million for you, you have to remember he hasn't won anything, Norm. At Brighton. So it's not like he's a Champions League winner and
I think they may be looking at the fact that this is their first time in Europe in a long time, and so they're looking at that and the fact that he's helped them to get that.
Yeah, and maybe they generally want to keep him.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a factor that actually we want to keep this kid at 22 years old because he's helped us get us where we are. So if you want him, he's 100 million. So if that's the case, then fair enough. Pay the 100 million if you want him.
I know Chelsea, they are looking at other targets, but and people say that the deal is dead. It's not dead. Fabrizio's come out and said that they're still negotiating. They'll probably end up getting him. You know what I mean? But if they do it, it'll probably be more north 95 million, which could
just pay them money. Just pay them if you want it that badly, and you feel like this kid helps this Chelsea team get back in the top 4. Pay the money; it's worth it because we've seen what he can do, even though he hasn't won anything. As in, but what he's done with them, a team like Brighton, to get them where they are, then there's something about the kid. And if you feel at Chelsea that we're lacking there badly, and it will affect our season, just pay the money, man.
Yeah.
Because they clearly got the money. Because we've seen from their spending. Their spending's been insane. It's not like they ain't got the money and they're going to sell another 8 players to get the money for this kid. Just do what you got to do. If you feel that he's a massive impact on your team moving forward on a 5-year contract, pay the money.
And I suppose the other question is, what about the Kane situation? Now the thing is, obviously Bayern, as I said, apparently are in town talking with Levy, and Levy, as you know, is a hard taskmaster when it comes to negotiating and stuff like that. He wants 100 million. I know Joe Lewis came out the other day and said, look, if he doesn't want to stay, just sell him. What I mean? Let's just get the money and sell him because we don't want him to go on a free. Now,
but that's the thing I don't understand about this deal, though. Sorry, Noel. Is everyone's saying, right, that his transfer fee is going to be high, but his wage demands are really high.
Right.
Are Bayern Munich going to pay him that kind of wages? That's what I don't understand.
I don't know. I mean,
400 grand a week. They're not paying him that.
No
chance.
You can't. Yeah, because you can't be. That's what I'm trying to say. Because is he looking at a went up and saying, right, Tottenham are willing to give me 400k a week. Maybe his missus wants to stay in London. And apparently she's having another child. Is that?
I think so. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Right? So you factor that all in, yeah, and that the fact that they want, Tottenham are willing to pay him 400 bags a week. Yeah. That's maybe why if I don't know if personal terms have been agreed with Bayern or not, and whether they've negotiate what the wages will be. But if he say, well, I want what Tottenham are going to give me, but then Tottenham are saying, well, we're going to sell you for this, how they're not going to be able to afford it. You know what I mean? Something's got to give. So if he does go to Bayern, does he go there? I don't know. What is he on? What is he on? Like 200 plus?
200 grand. I heard he's on 200 grand.
200 grand. Yeah. So if he did go to Bayern, say the deal went through, right, and he went for 100 mil, what do you think that Bayern Munich could possibly afford to pay him?
Well, what are they paying Mane? I heard they want to offer him that contract, basically, and they've got him off the books, and I think it was about 300 grand.
Okay. Right. Well, that I suppose that sounds reasonable.
I don't think he wants that.
He football, wants so you're saying in football? Yeah, I know what you're saying because obviously the going rate, and for what he does, he's banged in 30 goals, Premier League goals. That is.
I heard he was looking for more than. I heard he was going over the 400 mark.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because he wants to make up for all the time his brother got him on that contract.
So,
he's going to mess them up. Yeah.
The only thing there is like he'd have to run his contract down, and then go on a free and get a signing on free, and then do you know what I mean? Then it's not a problem, then is it? He'll get what he needs to get. But at the moment, it's that whole thing of the transfer fee, and then what can the clubs, be able to afford to pay him You know what I mean? So if he's wanting more than 400,000, well, listen, is he worth over 400,000 a week? That's the question.
Yeah, he is now. Yeah, he is now because I just googled him and he's
what I'm saying though, in your opinion, he's a 30 goal plus man. I know Jay said last week that is just the standard going rate. I mean, if Rashford is on what 350,
yeah,
350,
like that.
Yeah,
325,
yeah.
Rashford.
Right.
Yeah, 325.
Right.
And then Sancho wants 350.
Yeah.
So it's more than the going rate.
So 400.
Yeah.
For him is the going rate.
Right.
You got Haaland's on 400 plus, right? He's worth it.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have bum seasons.
Yeah. Right.
No, he don't. When was the last time you heard that Harry Kane in the last 4 or 5 years has scored less than 15 goals? And even when 20 goals. And even when he's had a slow start, because they normally say that if he doesn't score, they all say that, but then eventually he catches up. So he pretty much,
he set his kids up now. This was back in March. He announced that child number 4 is coming. So that's 100k per kid. Go do your thing, Harry. I don't blame you, man. Go do your thing.
He's got 4 kids. Has he got that many kids?
Wow. Well, he's got 3, and number 4. He announced that number 4 is on his way, and that was in March of this year. That number 4 is on its way, so she's either ready to drop or soon to drop. So that's 100k a kid, 400k a week, 100k a kid.
Yeah,
his kids are set for life.
Absolutely. So I saw the big £100 million question. Which person is likely to stay, and which one is likely to go?
I think Kane stays.
Kane stays, and Casado goes.
Yeah. Casado goes for like 90 grand, not 90 million.
I think Kane. It came out today that they're saying Kane is saying if he's not gone by the start of the season, he ain't going nowhere.
He's not going anywhere. Yeah, don't blame him.
Right. So with that said, then if he's not going anywhere, is he gonna stay and see out his contract and go on a free, or will in this position now is he gonna go right? Let's negotiate my wages, salary, and sign a new contract for whatever.
It'd be crazy.
He's not signing a new contract.
Right.
I don't see that.
The likelihood is that he's gonna run his contract down and end up going on a free to Arsenal.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jason. he would be now. You know what? I think he goes to Chelsea. I think they stay in London and goes to Chelsea. Because I think there's less.
Poch is his ex-manager, innit? So can you imagine?
Yeah, I just think that there's less stress for him to go to Chelsea than go to Arsenal. The stress to go to Arsenal, my lord.
Keep talking, guys. Just call coming in.
Yeah, he'll get absolutely crucified. So I think, I agree with you, Jason, that he doesn't sign the contract and then he goes to Chelsea in the summer, next summer.
Yeah, I think so. You think Chelsea? Yeah, I mean, I don't know where he goes, but there's only a few teams that would take him and pay him wages there anyway. Chelsea being one of them.
Yeah.
So I don't know. If we're still in the same position, we'll take him.
But the thing is, Jay, if he takes Kane, if we take Kane, he's got to change the way he's playing now. Because the way Kane plays, if we take Kane, Kane has to be a fox in the box. He can't be dropping deep to get the ball like he does at Tottenham. I've been watching the way he plays. And that's right.
But he's had to do that for Tottenham because they haven't got no real playmaker.
But
to be honest, he does that job. I mean, he's had to change his game because he hasn't got no pace, so he's not going to play on the last shoulder. I get you what I mean, but then
because he played like a number 10 rather than number 9. And we need a number 9, Jay.
So you're. But then I suppose the other thing as well is if Kane did come to Man U, then what would happen is that he Hojlund could then learn off of him. Do you know what I mean? As being that under study. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And just see how he.
I wouldn't say no, Norm, because I've been talking about this with Chile. I remember back with Chile all summer. But Kane would have to. I think. Do you then change how we're playing to accommodate Kane, or do you just say it's Harry Kane?
But Ten Hag's system is quite fluid, though, Steve. So Ten Hag, if you watch the midfield, they're interchanging, they're changing. So if he drops deep, that's fine as long as he's got runners. And those wingers we've got, those wingers we've got are runners.
Yeah,
so
very true. Yeah,
it could work. It still could work.
Man, I'm gonna text Chile and tell Chile to let's get it done. Let's get it done. You know what I mean? It will be a mess if you let him go for free when there's money on the table. It would be, wouldn't it? For any team, doesn't matter what the team is.
But they can't force him. They can't force him to sign for Bayern Munich. It's just
that's right.
It's just like Mbappe, isn't it? They're saying he's like, I don't want to talk to him.
What
can they do?
We're gonna exactly. And I take my out. You know what? As you probably can see along the thing on my ticker line, I take my out of to Mbappe because he could have. He's got as I say, ambition. Yeah, because he wants to go and win a proper trophy. Now, Real Madrid is the place where you can go and do the business. You can go to Real Madrid and be that man, and win that Champions League with him, and win, and play in a proper league. Listen, they call the league on a farmers league, but it doesn't get as recognised as all the other leagues like the Premier League and the Liga. Bayern Munich to a certain extent, by the Bundesliga to a certain extent, but I think for him to say nope, I don't want to talk to them. Yeah, and as I said, I don't know where they are. If they're at an impasse in terms of is he back training with them, or is he because they've gone in their pre-season? But what's happening with that situation?
But you see what happened on the 1st of August. He picked up his £60 million or euro bonus.
That's PSG,
right?
That's PSG.
So, but this is me.
Who can blame the guy? Who can blame the guy? That's what he signed.
But then if I'm PSG and say, right, you're not going to stay, you don't want to stay, right? Forget the 60 million bonus. Forget your last year of the contract's wage, and we'll release you to them. So you get enough money from us. You're not getting your 60 mil, and the yearly wage will be your transfer fee from them because we're keeping your last year of the contract's money, which was huge, by the way. I think it was like 25 million. No, not 25 million euros or something stupid like that, or way up there, right? And then you just say walk. So in theory, you've got 60 million that you were going to pay him. You kept that, and whatever his year's salary was, you've kept that, and he's just gone now. Let him go now. Don't pay him any money. Just let him go now. That's what I would do because he's not going to start contract, and he doesn't want to go and play in the sandpit.
Yeah, and I think. But the thing is, as I say, PSG now panicking because obviously they've sat down and they've agreed this contract with him. Yeah, you know what I mean. And at the end of the day, he's decided that he's not going to extend. Yeah, he said, "I ain't going to extend." That's
it's actually their fault, Norm.
Of course, it's their fault. It's their fault.
It was 2 years that he signed. So after one season, you knew you were going to be back in that same position again to say, "Whoa, we've got one year left."
It's all the other things that they've added to this thing. As I said, first of yesterday. Man,
he got his money.
Man went put his code in the bank account and went,
right.
That's nice.
Well, so I listened to one of the guys on Sky talking about this yesterday, and he was saying that they haven't paid him that money yet.
Okay.
And they're due to pay it in installments, and the 60 mil is based on certain criteria. So as it stands, he ain't going to get 60.
Okay.
He'll get a big chunk of it.
Yeah.
But it ain't going to be 60. But clearly they don't want to pay it, but they're going to have to. They're going to have to pay him whatever they're legally they have to pay him.
Yeah.
But so he ain't got it yet.
And it feels like he could get messy. It feels like this thing could
get
more messy.
This is going to get messy. This is going to get messy.
Because the thing is, do we know for a fact that his heart is set on Real Madrid? Or if one of the big Premier League teams came in for him, would he say, you know what? You think?
It's 100% it's Real Madrid. He doesn't want to be in the Premier League.
Yeah.
There's talk that PSG have got evidence that he's already got a deal with Real Madrid. And if that's the case, they're saying it's illegal.
Right, yeah.
So they're upset with him for doing that as well.
So now they're saying whatever happens, they don't want to play him next year. And then Mbappe said, I'll stay at home. So he's going to get to the point where they're going to have to do something. So he could end up in the Premier League only on a loan deal.
Yeah. And we heard Liverpool were
Take him on loan.
Take him on loan. But Klopp came out and watched that.
Said no.
Yeah, he said unless somebody's not telling him, unless somebody's I'm doing this, they haven't told me. You know what I mean? So wow. Yeah. But listen, I think I posed this question to D. I was on a call and I said, like, if and I suppose it'd be the same for you. I mean, we may even brought it up last week, and that's if you had the chance to swap your best player, in this case, I think for Man United, in terms of attacking wise, Rashford for Mbappe, would you do it? Jason, did you say you wouldn't because of? I'm sure you said you wouldn't.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't do it not because of football. Because on a football pitch, he's miles ahead of Rashford. Yeah. He's a much better football player than Rashford. He's much better talent than Rashford. Everything about it. It's because it's not what Manchester United need right now. We've gone away from this. We don't need the prima donnas. We don't need the off-field antics. We don't need the high salary. The dude doesn't want to be in England. So he's going to come. He's going to play a season, and I'm going to have to deal with this whole. Does he want to stay? He's going to be in the media all the time. Yeah. You're going to have other managers other players knocking on the door, say, "You're paying that guy £1 million a week. Yeah. What about me?" You don't need that. Yeah, you don't need that kind of hassle. It's probably a nice thought. But I just said, I mean, the guy on
the off-field stuff of the off-field stuff. On
the football terms, the guy is. But we can see just the way this is all playing out here. The way it played out last year or the year before, whenever it was, it's just always a circus. Like,
but even when he left Barcelona, the same thing. It was a circus. He was at Barcelona, wasn't he?
Who's that?
No, he went up. No, I'm taking it.
No, he was at
They got him
from
Monaco. He just went from Monaco to PSG on a free.
Yeah, and then he just put himself in a position where now you're always looking at him in a strange light because when you think things are settled. You see, if he was humble, then I think more clubs would have said, "Get this kid, man. This kid's a bad boy. He's not going to bring no drama." But like Jason said, the whole circus that comes with him, you don't need it, man. Because every press conference, whether your manager, our manager, every press conference, and the fans will get sick of it. And if you don't perform, even worse. You know what I mean? If it's just the pitches are too heavy, there's so much rain in Manchester, there's so much rain in England, he's not playing as well as he thinks he can play. And then you have all that combined. Look at this guy here.
Just got him from the fields, mate. Just got him from the fields.
Massa let you go then, yeah? Massa let you go.
Yeah, just about.
But did he feed you though, Chili? Did he feed you?
Well, I got some chicken foot.
Some chicken foot soup, you know?
Listen, he got the actual chicken foot. Yeah.
I was going to go on YouTube and just jump on the chat, but I see there's too much red in this chat. I said, no, I can't change this up.
Yeah, what are you today? Blue or white?
Don't worry. What day is it?
Wednesday.
Tottenham till I die. I'm Tottenham till I die.
Big up to you, Chill. Now we're just kind of discussing the Kane issue and the whole thing about will he go, will he stay?
Should he go or should he stay?
Yeah, and I suppose you're the man. You're the Tottenham boy. What are your thoughts on what's happening with him, about the fact that basically he's come out and said, like, once the Premier League, or I don't know if that's true, but once the Premier League starts, the likelihood is that he's going to end up staying. Ben, then does he sign a contract, or does he just see out his contract and then go on a free to Arsenal? Man did he choke there?
Right. Well, like you said, he's saying that if it isn't sorted by the time season starts, then he's going to stay at Tottenham, because he's saying it's not fair on Tottenham to start with him and then lose him, and that he may sign a contract. But I think that if he signs a contract, it's got to be like a 1-year thing, just so that we can next year sell him again. You know what I mean? Or so that he doesn't go on a free. I don't think he's going to sign like 4-year contract.
If he signs a contract, he's got to be hard and say, I dictate. This is the price. You put a price in there. You know, you can sell me for 100 grand, 80 mil, 100 mil, whatever that number is. He has to put a number in.
Yeah.
I don't want no Danny Levy antics. It needs to be, if it's a club, any club bids this number, I'm gone. As long as I say I want to go, I'm gone. Because otherwise, Daniel Levy, if he signs a contract, Daniel Levy will have him all over, like bent all over the table, mate.
Yeah, literally.
I've got a feeling now that he's going to stay. I thought he was gone, but originally I thought he was going to go United, but you lot were dilly-dallying, coming with some 60 mil and Maguire. Man, you have to come better than that. I told you. When I said that we're looking at 100 mil, all of you laughed at me and said, 100 mil, he's only got a year left for it. 100 mil, mate.
I told you, Scott McTominay, Fred, Maguire. I would give you 10 mil. I would give you 10 mil.
I like Fred, though. I don't know why you man are all hating on Fred all the way.
No, I'm not hating on Fred, you know. I want Fred to stay. It's the others I want gone. Like, if you told me Fred or McTominay, I'm keeping Fred every day of the week. Because Fred doesn't hide on the pitch. Even if Fred gives the ball away a lot, right, Fred wants the ball. And sometimes in games like that, it's important that your midfielders want the ball, even if they're not the best on the ball.
Yeah.
Do you know what the problem with Fred I have? I don't like it. Because the issue I have with Fred is either good or terrible.
Oh yeah, one of those.
And
he doesn't have like
you never know what you're
gonna
get.
No, and he's good. He's good maybe once every 10 games. And
I think you're
terrible.
That's a little harsh, man. You're saying that out the season he only has 4 good games.
He does. Really.
This is what I would say, Jay, and you may not agree with this. I always say that if you start Fred with Casemiro, he normally plays well. I'm not saying great, he plays well. And sometimes in what we call the lesser games, you just need those Fred legs. And maybe that's why they got Mason Mountain to replace Fred, really, rather than to replace... But I still haven't enough from Mason to say, okay, he's way better than what Fred gives us. So that's why we keep him. He's not a starter. Never has been. No, but I think coming off the bench and giving you 30 minutes in a game that gets a bit dogged, I'm keeping Fred over McTominay every day of the week. That's just me.
I just think when the game's on the line, Fred costs us instead of helping us.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So if you had a choice of getting rid of Fred or McTominay, Jason, who would you get rid of?
Both.
No, man, you've got to keep one. You've got to pay one.
You've got to keep one and get rid of one. Come on.
If I had to keep one, I'd keep Fred over McTominay. But mainly that's because McTominay can probably get more money for him.
That's true.
Yeah, because Fred's only got 1 year left on the contract, hasn't he, as well, Fred?
Yeah.
Plus, he's got 1 year left.
Speaking of money, what are you, man, doing about Maguire? You got offered 20 mil and you said no.
That's right, mate. That's right. You got to put
so how much is he worth then, Jay?
You got to put the readies up, Chile. Listen, you got to remember, right? This guy was in the European
I want to hear this sales pitch. Go.
Look, listen to this sales pitch, right? This is what I would do if I'm selling him. He was in the European Championship team of the tournament.
Yeah.
He was in the World Cup team of the tournament. He's a England into one of the first names on that Champs team sheet. He's an ex-Man United captain. Listen, that's got to get me 30 mil. That's how you sell him.
Yeah, that is how you sell him.
That's the only way you can sell him. But
that's it. Yeah, I looked at West Ham and I feel that West Ham are factoring taking on his huge wages. That's why they offer 20 million. And I think they're looking at the wages and saying he's not taking a pay cut to come to us, so we can't pay more than 20. So I get that from what they're trying to work with. But then everyone says, "Hold on, you got the Declan money from Arsenal, pay up the team." So I think they should have done that.
Man.
Everyone
knows how much is he on?
No, but
290 grand. It's 190 grand, right?
Yeah. So 10 million a season. 10 million a season, you know?
My goodness.
The West Ham chairman has already told us he's happy to pay their wages. because he said we offered Declan 200 grand.
Yeah, but Declan and Slabhead, that's two different players.
The thing about Slabhead, he's not a terrible player. He just doesn't fit Man United. He doesn't fit the level that we're at. He doesn't fit the way.
No, he doesn't fit the way that you play. He can only play one way.
Yeah, and this is what I'm saying. Go to West Ham or something like. He probably do a good job.
Probably get the captain's armband as well.
West Ham can't pay him 200 grand a week. They're going to have everyone knocking on the door saying, if this brother's getting 200 grand a week,
but if he only
pay rise.
Yeah, Chilly, but if he only costs you 20 mil, then I think they'll pay the wages. But I think the higher it goes, the higher it goes, then they're not going to pay them wages.
This is what I can't stand though, right? Yeah. When these clubs are trying to buy a player, then go or sell a player, they are negotiating to the hill. I mean, look at West Ham with Arsenal. They weren't letting Arsenal have Declan on the cheap.
Yeah.
They were negotiating to get the price that they want. Look at all the players Brighton are selling to Chelsea.
They want the money, didn't they?
They want the money that they want. But when these same clubs want to buy your players, they want everything on the cheap.
Well, that's Daniel Levy. Daniel Levy wants to get everyone's players for bargain bucket price.
It's a joke, mate.
And then we're selling Sanchez and he's looking top dollar. What are you talking about?
It don't make no sense. Listen, they want Chelsea to sell him. What's that centre back that's just signed for them? Levi or whatever his name is.
Colwell.
They wanted to get him on the dirt cheap. They're like, hold on a minute here. You've had us over a barrel. How many? This player, that player, and you want us to give you guys on the cheap?
Yeah.
And we know you've got money burning hole in your pocket because we gave it to you.
Because Jason, if you look at it, McTominay and Maguire both should go to West Ham. But you just know when it comes to price, we're just not going to get there.
Give us 50 mil and take the two of them.
There you go, 50 mil, take both of them. That's true, you know, Jay.
And the thing about it, just talking about trying to get offload players, and it takes us nicely on to, Chelsea leading the way in terms of offloading the dead wood. So, like,
that's some skullduggery, though. That's why they're leading the way.
Well, we all know that, innit? You know what I mean? Ezra's not here to defend, but listen, they've done it, and they seem like they got away with it. Yeah, I'm just looking at.
Keep thinking that. What do they say? Give them enough rope to hang themselves.
But as I say, you're obviously trying to offload, the likes of McTominay and Fred and Maguire, and I think somebody was saying that because obviously you're linked with that what's the guy, the one from Florentina?
Amrabat. Well, his terms have already been done, though. His terms have been done.
Yeah.
What's that all about, D? All these players, all of a sudden, they're agreeing terms before the clubs have agreed anything.
But the thing is, you're allowed to do that.
But it makes no sense.
But I think if you go back a good few years, that was called tapping up, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was called tapping up.
Ashley Cole. You remember Ashley Cole, the classic Ashley Cole, yeah?
Fergie used to regularly do that, you know. Fergie was one of the worst for that.
Fergie was. He hijacked Berbatov, man. He turned up at the airport and told Berbatov, "Get in the back of the car." Get in the car.
That was funny, man. Yeah, it's true, you know. But Norman's right. Norman's right. That has been going on for a while now. The tapping up, you know. You hear.
It don't make no sense. It's like we've agreed personal terms with two defenders. Can you see any defenders at Tottenham?
Because at the end of the day, even though, so what it is they've gone there and said, right, listen, I want to come to you. I want this sort of money. Yeah, we're all happy. Now it's just about, and then they now say, right, we need now go talk to your club, right?
Yeah. It should be the other way around. Get the player.
Exactly. But
nowadays, I think they want to make sure. I think nowadays they want to make sure that the player actually wants to come.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
yeah. So you're kind of secure that.
You see what happened with the young lads, where we as fans were convinced that he wants to come, and then the truth was he didn't want to come, and all that time wasted on him. So I actually get that when they report, when Fabrizio and Oystein report that personal terms have been agreed, now it's down to the clubs to come together and figure out the fee. So I'm okay with that because, like Jason said, then yeah, man, he definitely want to come to us. Like they're saying that Amrabat has been told that we're going to get him late on in the window, and he said, right, okay, let's do my personal terms, and they're saying the terms are good, so they reckon we can get him for about 26 million euros.
Where's he coming from?
Is it Florentina?
Yeah, Florentina. That's it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, he hasn't got far to travel,
Yeah.
But,
and they won't be paying him massive wages either, will
exactly.
they?
So he comes to us,
double his wages and still be comfortable.
Sorry, guys. Sky are reporting that unnamed Saudi club have made an approach to Brighton for Casado.
Wow.
And this is
how it's going to go Saudi though.
Right. This is how it's going to work out. This is what's going to happen. He's going to go and do an Insta live, and he's going to say to all the Brighton fans, listen, guys, I really want to thank you because listen, but I've got to feed my family of 10 people, 10 sisters and brothers, and they're offering me 200 million a year, bro. Casado, listen, his brothers and sisters, get your backside over the side and sign up here. Listen, guys, it's crazy what these guys are doing now.
Apparently, they're looking at Kane as well.
But listen, if Brighton accept that, whatever, are they looking at putting a bid in? That Jay, is that what they're saying?
For Kane?
They're saying,
sorry.
For Casado. You could say though, yeah.
Right. Have they actually said a figure or is it just speculation?
No, they haven't said a figure. It's just they said unnamed club.
That's interesting. That now throws another,
But they did the same to Osimhen, didn't they? They offered
128. I think it worked out to be something like £1 million a week.
Crazy. $1 million something, whether it's pound or euros or whatever. Something.
$1 million whatever, man. I'll take $1 million lira. I don't care what it is. $1 million a week.
Give me $1 million Jamaican dollars, man.
I'm taking $1 million rupees.
I'm taking $1 million Jamaican dollars.
Well, that's about a tenner, man.
I know. I'm running joke.
By the way, big up to Jamaica.
Big up to
Jamaica. I know. Yeah, that was wild, wasn't it?
I didn't see the game, but a load of texts were flying through, and people on Insta were posting that. It ended up being a 0-0 draw.
Yeah, but that's all we needed, man.
Yeah, as a 0-0 draw. Yeah.
Took out the Brazilians, boy.
Yeah. I'll check that out. I'm gonna check that link out, Jay. Yeah, man. But boy, that's crazy. That's crazy. It's another thing that's this pro league. They're moving mad, and I suppose it moves us nicely onto this last point. And this is: are we likely to see European leagues potentially get in bed with the Saudi pro league?
That's what I was just going to say to you. One of you said that in the group, and I was like, you know what? The golf, they were kicking up about how bad it is, and they're going to sanction anyone that goes and plays. Right? Are they not in bed with them now?
That's right.
Exactly.
I think I posted it in the chat. I think I think the Premier League, the Liga, all our big leagues around Europe will have to come to some sort of agreement with the Saudi clubs, whether they create a new sign of Super League style thing.
But Jay,
they're going to have to do something.
Bro, listen, I was talking to D last night, and I was talking to a West Ham fan, one of my work colleagues, and he was saying, listen, I would not be surprised if you mentioned whether it's a Super League, I don't know, where you have X amount of teams from each of the leagues play against them, because these guys want to get on the map. Yeah,
they want to.
Pro league guys want. As I said, the 4 top teams, right, Jay? The 4 top teams, Chile, D, right? They're owned by the PIF group. Yeah, they're owned by the PIF group, and they have got between them in terms of spending 17 billion. The clubs, that's owned by the PIF group. So your owner is the PIF group. Now I know the PIF own Newcastle as well. Yeah, right. We're forgetting that. Right, and they have a little niche with Chelsea, right?
Yeah,
These men have got their hands in every single thing here, right? So it begs the question, and as Jason said, they have to come to something, because the way these guys are moving, if Victor Osimhen decides to say yes, or Napoli say, bro, 128 million, you're bidding 128 million for our guy, right? They might turn around and say to them, listen, because I think Napoli want more closer to 150. Yeah, they might say, okay, let's push as close as we can to that. Wages won't be a problem for these Saudi guys, right? Wages won't be a problem, and I'm going to bring this up because me and D posted this last night, so we might as well just share this with the rest of the viewers, and just look at the moment how things stand, and it's just interesting just to get your take on this, looking at the spend of the Premier League.
Oh yeah, I remember saying this.
Right. So D might be the best one to break this down, because he's done a little bit of a study of this and a bit of recce of this, right? So I will just sort of say, as you can see, Premier League spending leagues since the start of transfer is 1.34 billion. Serie A 531 million. Ligue 1. So I'm quite surprised, but that's probably Paris Saint-Germain element there, 456. Bundesliga 448. Saudi Arabia 301 million euros, and then La Liga we're in 250 million euros. All right. So D, you posted this, and you've done a little thing in this.
Well, this was normal last night. Like, if you look at how hard the Premier League is, right? Because the Premier League is always we're always overpaying for players, even our English players. So this is why we're always going to sit at the top of the pile, because there was a rule where now each club has to have at least 6 homegrown players.
Yeah.
So if any of them homegrown players become good and want to go elsewhere, like what's going on with Casado, like with the Harry Kane thing, it's always going to be high figure transfers.
Declan Rice, look at that.
Yeah, that will always keep us higher than the rest of the clubs. But with Saudi were getting people like Benzema on a free, but paying in peace. And I said to Norm that
his deal is over a free. His deal. I don't know if this is over a 3-year period or 4-year period. I think they're going to pay him something like 300 million. Yeah.
Right. So if you had, say, like the Saudi League, they spent that much because they got a lot of players that were good for their clubs, but going the other side of the hill, that are out of contract, because they were buying players for like 40 million euros or 50 million euros, which is not wild money. It's not 100 million or 90 million or 85 million what's been spent in the Premier League. And then if you look at La Liga at 250, 128 million euros of that is Real Madrid on its own. That's how much Real Madrid are outspending the other 19 clubs in the Liga.
Else, yeah.
You know what I mean? So when you looked at it, you thought, there's no way. But the media had a stink that Saudi Arabia are ruining football. When if you look at the spend, the Premier League is ruining football with what we're spending on players. You know what I mean? That's the reality of it, because the Saudi League is nowhere near what we spent already. And there's still 2 weeks to go to the window. So that's going to go up.
If you put their wages in, it'll surpass the Premiership, because they're paying some mad wages.
And that's why I said to Norman that if you then put next to it, and these are the wages that they're paying after spending this on transfers, then you see the Saudi League leapfrog all of them and probably be just over the Premier League or very close to the Premier League.
So this time next year, if D was to post this up again on our chat, what would that look like, people? Jason, what would that look like?
So in the year, did you say?
Yeah, just say this time. This time, we know that they're going to go again in January, but let's say this time next year, D posts this thing up. I suppose one of the things that D did say is that this doesn't include the wages. I think just transfer.
But you know, that's why I don't think it'll look much different. That's why I don't think it'll look much different, because what they're offering these players is the wage.
It's the wage.
That's what. That's the bit that no one can compete with.
Right.
And the only thing the Premier League and the League and all that have got to offer is the prestige of playing in Europe and the Champions League. all of that sort of stuff. But you see, when you look at this, everyone wants to complain about the Saudis. But
that's what I'm saying, Jay. That's what I'm saying.
Look at the Premier League spread. It's like
1.34 billion euros. Come on, man.
It's that typical, man. They love it. It's that typical point at everybody else when you're,
Yeah. And I think as well, because the Saudi league is literally saying to guys at 29 and 30, come and retire your whole family for 3 years.
Yeah.
And I think it's annoying them. It's annoying the British media. You have to remember, like, the British media always want to control the narrative on everything. So the narrative is very negative towards Saudi, when the truth is we are the ones ruining the transfer market with our spend. It's ridiculous.
But okay. At the moment, the narrative is at the moment, and how it's all panning out at the moment. And it seems like a lot of the majority of players that the Saudi Pro League are going for is people that are coming pretty much to the end of their thing. They've probably got 2 or 3 years left. Lots of Ronaldo's probably another 10 years because this man just likes to play. You know what I mean? But what I'm trying to say is now you're seeing. Okay, we've just had an example there. Jay has just reported about Sky News saying that an unknown Saudi club is looking at Caicedo. Yeah, Caicedo is 22. You looked at Victor Osimhen. Yeah, they actually went and put in a bid for 128 million.
How was Victor? 24.
He's 24. So listen, what I'm trying to say. At the moment, once one says, you know what, just say Victor Osimhen says, you know what, £1 million a week, and Napoli accept the offer. That's when things start to go. Because at the moment, it's the latter end in terms of players' career that are going, and they're going like that.
But it only takes 1 or 2 of these 20.
That's what I'm saying, Jake. That's what I'm saying, Chile. That's what I'm saying.
Kickstart it, and then others will follow. And like I was saying to you guys the other day, they can go there for 3 years. If he's 22, he can go there for 3, 4, 5 years and still come back young enough to play in one of the leagues.
Yeah.
And because of what they did with Ronaldo and his girlfriend, right? Everybody can just bring their girl with them, and it's cool. Yeah. They're the ones. You don't have to be married. There's no
the rules.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So that is appealing. If you think, you know what, these guys might not be paying this money for the next 10 years. Just go over there, do a thing, and then I'm going to come back to the league, or Premier League, or one of them, and then you should come back and say, just pay me $150 a week. I'm good. Yeah. I've made all my money in Saudi.
I've made money for my great grandchildren.
Right. It makes sense. It makes sense financially, even though it may not make sense football wise, because you always want to be playing the Champions League.
It just depends on people, because people say, "Oh, he's got no ambition because he won't go to a bigger club or whatever, or to a club to win things," but they might just be in it for the money. You know what I mean? There are plenty of footballers that aren't into football as such. They're just doing it because they're good at it and they get paid good money.
Yeah, Gareth Bale.
Big up yourself.
Yeah, Junior. Yeah. Remember Gareth Bale? What did he say? He said, "Golf, Wales, then Madrid," or something like that in that order.
Yeah, something.
You know what I mean? It's
talking about Gareth Bale, right? I mean, the man is made for life in terms of football. That he's made for life. Now he's doing what he really enjoys, and that's golf. Yeah. And I tell you what, apparently he's got a good handicap as well, bro.
He's a good golfer. He can play.
Yeah.
He's an athlete, mate.
He was. I think it was Sky done a report on him, and they were saying that he's giving a couple of them golfers a run for their money.
Yeah.
So now he's now.
He's like Steph Curry, no. He's like Steph Curry from Golden State Warriors. Jason tell you, he's a bad boy golfer. Absolutely bad boy golfer. And you're thinking, bro, you can't.
That's nice. That's nice that he can go for football.
But Bale had like 3 years just to practice his golf. He should be.
I know. Yeah.
He wasn't sitting on the bench, mate. He was sitting on a golf cart. That's what he was doing.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
You know, no.
What's that striker that played for Man United? Is it Agallo?
Agallo,
yeah. He said no one goes to Saudi for football.
Oh wow!
He plays for a Saudi club.
You're not going there for the football. You're going there for that £1 million a week.
He was just honest. He said, "You don't come here for the love of football.
You come here for the love of money. You
come here to get paid."
But if they decide to carry on this sports attack that they're doing, the Saudis, they're going to change a lot of sports across the globe, man.
They're doing it now. I mean, boxing.
It's moving at a rate.
No heavyweight boxer wants to box now unless they're boxing in Saudi.
Because
they want to get paid.
Yeah.
Saudi F1 Grand Prix. They now say they've got the Live Golf. They're now saying they own Newcastle. They've got these 4 teams. They now say they want to go to tennis. They're probably going to want to put a major championship in Saudi.
In Saudi, yeah.
That's where they're heading now.
Saudi Open, Saudi Open, and they're going to pay what 20 million if you win the tournament, something stupid like that for the men's, and 15 million for the ladies. Of course, that's appealing.
Cool.
Everyone on the tour. Wow, the ladies maybe not, but the men definitely. They're going to pay silly money, and so the tour would almost be like. Players on the tour would be like, "Yo, you got to look at this Saudi team because
tennis they negotiate say equal pay, don't they?"
Yes, they would, yeah.
That shouldn't happen. But anyway, what you're saying is,
don't get Norman cancelled on here, bro.
I'll tell you right.
Take that back.
No. They done a study, Hang on. They done a study of men's and women's football and what they get paid, and they said that the men generate billions, so they get paid a lot more. But when you look at the percentage of what the men earn, they get paid a smaller percentage than what the women get from what they earn.
What sense as well. In football?
Yeah, in football.
But you remember years ago, they had the thing about the tennis where the guys were playing 5 sets. And if you went to 5 sets, playing 3. And then there was a whole thing about, look at Wimbledon, look at the prize money when you win it for the men compared to the women. And then the men were saying, well, a lot of our games, when it gets closer to the semis and quarters, are going 5 sets. You guys are done in 2. And if you're the Williams sisters, you're done in, you're done in 3. If you're Williams sisters, back then, you were done in set 6-1, 6-1. You know what I mean? So it's like,
but it's not even just that. It's the fact that in Wimbledon, remember that Wimbledon match, right? That went like 64-62 in the 5th.
Yeah, in the 5th set. Tiebreak.
No 5th set tiebreak.
Yeah,
that don't happen in the women's game.
It doesn't. Nah.
Like you're literally punishing the man. Like beating him down, and then make the man have to play the next day.
The next day, right?
And how are you expected to win that game?
Yeah,
they should. I agree. In tennis, they can earn big money because the way they do tennis, right? The men and the women's game, they all played at the same time. The women get massive views and they get massive deals, and I'm okay with that. I don't know whether it should be equal because they're not doing equal amount of work, but
because they play short sets.
If the women are bringing in the equivalent of what the men are bringing in, then you've got to pay them the same. But if they're not, then you don't.
I don't think they break it down by men and women. You see, in tennis, because
you just buy your ticket, don't you?
Yeah, you just buy your ticket for centre court, and you want centre court for a men's game and all this. So that's why you say like the way they package it up is good. So the women should get paid a lot of money because it's all being done at the same time. But whether that should be 50-50 split,
Yeah,
because I'm not sure how it works on the golf tour, but as individual sports, you know that if you win an Open or a major in golf, then the money is peas. You know what I mean? It's retirement money. You can win one major and retire, and be very comfortable for the rest of your life. So that tells you the kind of money that you will get when you win a major or an Open in golf, whether you're a male or female.
Is that the same on the women's tour though? Can you retire on the women's tour?
I'm not sure. I've never looked into that. I know on the men's definitely.
Well,
if you win the British Open, US Open,
can you name me 3 women golfers?
Oh wow! I used to be able to, but not now.
So did I? Laura Davis. Michelle Wee.
Oh yeah, I know her.
Yeah.
I know the old school one. I don't know none of these new ones.
Yeah, these new ones. Yeah. And the new ones can play, they're almost like hybrid golfers. They're not even big females, and these guys are driving the ball close to 300 every time. You just like,
wow,
it's wild, man. It's wild, yeah. But then the equipment, everything, it's all changed. The whole dynamics of golf has changed now.
Yeah.
The equipment is...
I see a guy's putter the other day. It looked like something E.T. made. It was just like...
Yeah. Well, right now, they're just doing the penalty shootout. It's currently 2-1 or 2-all?
It finished 1-1 though.
It can finish 1-1. It's 3-2 to Monaco. Kai Havertz is about to take the third penalty.
Man like Shy, you know.
Man like Shy. The man better score, you know. Hold on a minute. I'm doing it now. Talking thing. Here we go. What a goal. What a penalty.
Okay.
3-3. This is the Emirates Cup. So we're gonna win a trophy, man.
Loops.
It's a good that was a good penalty. That one was a good penalty by Kai. Or Shy, shall I say.
No pressure.
But the thing is, because one thing I'll say, Ramsdale cannot save a penalty. This guy cannot say. Was David De Gea good at taking our penalties?
No. Awful.
Yeah,
awful.
same. Let me just see if he. Yeah. Whoa! What a save! Whoa! Yo! Give me 5. Yeah. Ramsdale.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's stating his case now. It's stating his case to the gaffer. It's like,
listen. So I think if we scored this, hold on a minute. It's now. Hold on. What a save! Can't believe it's the first. And the way he's done it, the ball's come to him and he's just gone like that.
Just palmed it up, yeah.
Palmed it over the butt thingy. He's shocked himself.
I gotta drop off, guys. I'll check you out now, right?
Yeah, listen. We are. But Jake, take it easy. When you on your holes?
Next week. This time next week, I'll fly.
Well, listen.
Okay.
Well, listen. If you're in Dubai and I'll send the link out anyway. And if you just want to just show off your little self out there, then you know what I mean. Feel free to do it. I think the time difference is. I think is it 3 hours or 4 hours, isn't it?
Probably 3 hours or something ahead.
Yeah, just
something like that. 3-4 hours, something like that.
Yeah, don't do not too much of that. Yeah.
Don't worry, mate. I'm not getting back.
Shame, my bro. Yeah. But yeah, big up to you, Jay. I mean, we are going to finish the show. So listen,
enjoy the summer.
Well, let's definitely. What's the name is just taking his penalty. Vera. And now the next guy is coming up to take his name. Can't see who he is. I think if he misses this, then Arsenal go on and win this. I don't know if Craig is in the chat that he just scored. Right, so it's currently what? So do we need this to? Have we missed? I don't get it. How comes it's 4-4?
Because you haven't taken one, maybe. Who's taking it?
Gabriel Mangalese is about to come and take it now. So I think if he scores this, we win it.
Yeah, because it'll be 5-4.
Yeah.
But you haven't missed one yet.
Yeah, we haven't missed one. Yeah, they've missed one. Yeah. So this one to win it, I think. Yeah. Unless somebody puts it in the chat because they might be ahead of us.
I hope he kicks it over.
Let's see. Here we go. Takes a long run up.
Kicks it over.
And I think we've won it. Yeah, there you go. They're not too ecstatic. They're just walking over. Ramsdale's got a big smash.
Oh, they're not celebrating like they did against Fulham.
they got a big smile on his face, and he's happy. And we go on into the Charity Shield game this Sunday where we play Man City. If we play like this, we will get our butts slapped. That's all I've got to say. There was one little worry.
Why are you playing in the Charity Shield?
All right, so let's just explain this. Because Man City, because they won the FA Cup
and the league,
the next person down, so it's us.
It should have been us though, because we won the League Cup.
I know, but that's
kind of wild, isn't it?
Who did they play in the FA Cup?
Who?
Man City to win it.
They played Man United. Man United.
Oh yeah.
And that's why it should have been us, because we got to the FA Cup final.
It would make sense. Yeah, it would make sense for the person that won, won the Carabao Cup to be the ones. But it is what it is. It is what it is. So
we're going to one more game that we don't. That maybe they're not ain't bothered about playing, because I think we're playing too many. I think compared to Liverpool and Man City, I think our teams are playing too many friends.
And the Man City. Listen, we know Man City are favourites to win the league. but their pre-season hasn't gone that brilliantly. You know what I mean? They did lose against Atletico Madrid. But they're just in the process of signing, or will be signing, that Valdo from Leipzig, RB Leipzig, and I think the fee. There was talk about it being 100 million, but I think it's something like 72 million. Maybe with add-ons it will go to that, but it's currently around about 72, something around about the 70-odd million pound mark that they're gonna do. And listen, at the moment, Man City have been really quiet in the market when you think about it, but I think they will start to motor on. They've obviously got Kovacic from Chelsea, and now they're looking to sign this defender. Mahrez is gone. Gundogan has gone to Barcelona.
Walker's going Saudi as well, isn't he?
I think he is. I think he might. Where's he going to go? Chile?
Saudi.
I thought he was going to buy. I thought he was going to Bayern.
Oh, there was that as well. I think he's had offers from both. You know, no?
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I'm also seeing that Real Sociedad looking Donny van de Beek as well.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So Donny can be on his bike. I think that'd be a good move for Donny. I think he needs to move on and get some playing time.
I think for us, we're looking at moving on Lokonga. I think Austin Trusty, he's going to I think it's Sheffield United. So I think we only bought him just to get more American fans. You know, he was on loan to Birmingham last season. He was on the American tour with us, but he's looking to be sold. I think 5 million is what they're talking about. And then if the situation with David Raya, I don't know, Chile. I don't know what your thoughts on this. David Raya, was Tottenham looking at him at some point, Chile?
Yeah, we were close to getting him. That's another one that we agreed terms with him.
Right. Now, I don't know if you know this, Chile, and if you've read on it, but Arsenal are going in for David Raya.
But they're saying as a backup to Ramsdale. I think he's better than Ramsdale.
Right. And this is the question, and that's why there's a lot of raised eyebrows, because we've basically got two number one keepers, yeah? And some people are saying it's good that Ramsdale's got competition. But if you're going to be paying nigh on 40 million, I don't think that's what Arsenal will pay. I think it'd probably be more 30, 35 million. You're bringing in a keeper that was probably third, fourth best keeper in the league. You know what I mean? He's done really well with Brentford.
Yeah.
He's, as I said, he's agreed personal terms with Arsenal. So that's no problem. And he wants to come to Arsenal. He's told Brentford he wants to come to Arsenal. Thomas Frank has said
that he wants to go Tottenham as well.
Thomas Frank has basically come out and said, like, you know, I think he's worth 40 million, and they are looking to sell him. He's not willing to sign another contract. He's got a year left on it. So basically, it's either he either goes on a free, or Brentford get the money in free.
But surely he goes to Tottenham and be number one. Surely.
It would make a lot of sense.
We won't pay the money. Levy wouldn't pay the money. So
exactly.
I think we offered 35 and they said no.
Right.
And so we then went and bought this guy for 17
million. Yeah.
You did.
Yeah. And so at the moment, he's your your number one. But if anything was to happen and David Raya does end up going to Tottenham, then he will definitely be your number one. And then this guy would be a backup man. He's a good goal. He's a very good goalkeeper.
Good goalkeeper.
As I said earlier on in the show, I said to Big D and Jay, we have to just watch this space with him, because it has raised a lot of eyebrows in terms of why Arsenal would want to, going for a first choice keeper, basically. Can anyone tell me if Arsenal are looking to get a striker, Bitello, still, or is it just a rumor? Now, again, we've been linked with this Bitello guy. I don't know if is he a striker? I thought he was a midfielder. I might be wrong. I don't know nothing about this player. We was linked with him, I've not seen anything else on it. A couple of weeks ago there was a lot of talk that Edu was going to work his magic, because obviously being Brazilian and everything, we could end up going in for this guy. But
exactly.
But what I would say though, I mean, Craig posted it earlier on in the chat, basically saying that let's hope that Jesus' knee injury isn't that serious. Now, from what my daughter actually rang me at work today to say, she saw the team come out and everything, and she sort of said, Jesus is not in the side. I said, well, maybe it's just, it's just the Emirates Cup, and they're probably ready to rest him. And he said, no, I mean, rumours that he's possibly injured, blah, 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 blah. So nah. And then obviously Craig has put this in there. So I don't know what the details are, but this is my problem, is that if you lose Jesus, we lost him for 3 months where he had to have knee surgery. Now, I don't know if it's the same knee or what the extent of the injury is. I hope I hope it's not too serious. But if it is, you've got Eddie Nketiah as your backup. And this is why we need to go in and invest in a proper striker. Listen, Man United have gone for Hojlund. Yeah. All right, he might not be your 20-plus goal a season striker yet, but he has the potential to do that. And that's why Man United have gone all out. He's having his medical. They've spent 64 million on him, rising to 72 million. And as JP said, if it rises to 72 million, whatever those targets were during the add-ons would simply mean that he's doing what he's meant to have done.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
yeah. So
I don't have a problem with it, because if you look at the strikers market, though, it's slim to nothing now. And every striker you're looking at is 90 million euros or pounds upwards. There's no, like, if you're trying to compete, there's no, okay, we got a 45 million striker here that's banging. There's no one out there like that.
But the thing with Hojlund, this guy. Listen, from what people are saying and the stats, people have read up on. I've not seen this guy play. I've not even went on YouTube to see any, little YouTube links of him and how
he looks strong, though.
Yeah,
he looks strong. He's got pace. He can hold the ball up. He can be a fox in the box. I think if he gets a service, he won't let us down like Wenger's. Right. When Wenger's will get the service, he just couldn't finish his dinner, man. He's like, bro, what are you doing? Yeah. And so, for me, there's no pressure on the kid. The kid can come in and score 12 to 15
goals. The thing is, that's what I'm saying. I know some people was gawking at the price, paying 64 million for a young striker like him who's only scored 9 goals in Serie A. But you're buying potential, and you're looking at. I don't know if you looked at his stats or that, but it might be good to go and have a look at his stats, because that's really how you really find out about what kind of player this guy is. Yeah, you can go and look at YouTube, stuff.
They can make anyone look good, though, innit?
Exactly. Yeah. So I think the proof will be obviously in the pudding when he comes in. I mean, I don't know if Ten Hag is. I don't think Ten Hag will be the sort of manager to just throw him in. No, it's not going to fit. It'll be a process of easing him in.
If you look at it, he'd probably sooner play Sancho in the false nine. Yeah. And let this guy get a few games. Like, just come in 20 minutes here. And remember, he's coming into the pace of the Premier League as well, which he's not going to be used to, regardless of pre-season. Because he's not had a pre-season with us so far.
No, and that's
he's only having a medical now, so he's only going to. He may be on the bench for the last friendly, maybe.
Yeah. Can I ask quickly, because I'm going to wrap up soon? Your fans and yourself, do you have do they have patience with, bringing in someone like Hojlund who has the potential? Now, it's going to take a bit of time, I would say, catching up with the pace of the Premier League, not having the pre-season. Now, he's going to be a bit of a slow burner. He might miss a few, sitters and stuff like that. Are the Man United fans patient enough, to say, we're going to give this guy time? Or have you got certain fans, Man United fans, that are kind of maybe comparing him to Rashford, or maybe to, like, say, I mean, you're situated with Greenwood. I don't know what's happening with that, but. Right. What are the Man United fans' thoughts on, when they do bring in a new player, do they give them time to bed in, settle in, and get all the rusty and dusty things, when it comes to trying to score goals?
It has to be a case of patience, right? Because look how long we've had Rashford, right? From a kid into a young man now. Last season was his best season for us. Right? You've got Martial that can't stay fit on stupid money. That's what I'm saying. You can't put this kid under pressure from day one because that's unfair to what we're doing. Yes, we want Martial out. I can say it now, Jason's not here. But you know what I mean? but the truth is that if we just say to this kid, right, you've got to go and get us 20 goals and 7 assists, or like this kid must think, right, I just got to, like, no one even knows what squad number he's going to get yet. You know what I mean? But all the good squad numbers have gone, if that makes sense. They gave away 7. Rashford's got 10. Martial with his injured self still got number 9 on his back. So, you know what I mean? So the pressure won't be on him because he's not going to get a big shirt number. He might be in the 20s somewhere. So
who's number 11?
Greenwood still got that. Mason still got that number.
How you can get who's got Van Persie's number?
What did Van Persie play? What number was that?
I'm sure he played number 20 on his back.
Yes, he did. Yeah, because Ollie had that number, and then Van Persie took it. Yeah,
probably his number.
Is it? Yeah. So probably number 20. He'll get number 20, which is not a bad shirt. That's not a bad shirt. Behind Ollie, Van Persie. Yeah, that's not a bad shirt at all. Yeah.
But I think you'll give him time. I think you'll give him time because when you brought in Sancho,
right,
he had big expectations.
Yeah, for that price tag.
And I'm not trying to diss him or like banter you, but he didn't live up to it. And
it felt like everything was too heavy for him, Chile.
But you lot still give him time. You didn't turn on him. If that was Arsenal, they would have turned on him after 4 games.
Yeah. Well, the thing is now, I think a percentage of the fan base has turned on Sancho, and Sancho needs to hit the ground running. And like if he plays him in the false line and keeps, because I want Rashford to stay out wide. I think he's more effective out wide. I don't like him through in the middle. So if he decides, like if Martial's not fit, if Martial's fit, Martial plays through the middle until he gets injured. That's how I see it. I think he'll do that because at least Martial knows what the boss needs from him. But if he's not fit for the start of the season, you keep Rashford out wide. You play Sancho in the middle, in the false line, and let him. Maybe it just clicks for him. I think he's been okay in pre-season playing there, but I just feel like the weight, the badge. I think it might be too heavy for him now. And you're going to see this with Mason. Like they'll give him maybe 10 games. After 10 games, if he's not settled in with that number 7 shirt on his back, they're going to turn on him now. But I've been there and watched it. And it's horrible when they turn. It's mean. It's mean-spirited when they turn on you. You know what I'm saying? And you can't perform with that if you know that every time you go to Old Trafford, my lord, I got to play well today. I got to play well. You're telling yourself that in the changing room. And then you're almost
you're heaping a lot of pressure on yourself. Even before you even kicked a ball.
Yeah, you're almost begging. You're almost begging just to play the away games. Which is wild, you know what I mean? Like, you know what? Just rotate me with somebody. You know what? Play all the away games.
You know what it is, though, guys. I mean, when you're playing in them kind of cauldrons, you have to have an elite mentality. You know what I mean? Playing at that level. You know what I mean? So, as you know, there's some players that thrive on being cussed and whatnot, and they just let their football do the talking.
Because the thing is, right? I've been there where a player's broken through, he's lost the ball, and you got 70,000 people go, and it sounds wild when they do it, Norm. When you're in the atmosphere, right, you're like, oh, that's not good. As a player, you'd be like, did you hear that?
Yeah. And you know what? I mean, I went to a couple of Arsenal games, and I remember, I can't remember what game it was, and it's quite funny because obviously you see a lot more that goes on. In terms of what players are doing, and you can hear fans say, "Yo, get over there! What are you doing over there?" I'm thinking, please. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Why are you standing there? You know what I mean? And then swear their heads off at him. I'm thinking, my God, you know what I
mean? And if they start chanting those real horrible songs about you because you're having a bad game, you can't perform under that. You just can't. And I've watched it. You know what I mean? I've watched them do it to Pogba, and then Pogba trying to talk to the fans after the game and they're cussing him out. And you're like, Paul, just go in the changing room, bro. Just you've had a bad game, mate. You got to take that on the chin.
And I remember when Paul Pogba went through that. I mean, it was
you're just like, bro,
it was terrible. I mean, you saw him walking off the pitch, and there was one time when one fan was just in his face, and you know what I mean?
Because you know
he just gets blamed for everything. Even blame the guy when he was in hospital and he wasn't even playing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, I used to look at that and I'll be like, if he was part of our crew, you just say, Paul, you know what, bro? Stop posting on social media because you're not playing well. But like there was no one that could say that to him. To say just stop. Like I get it, you got your family life right, but like your big money is at Old Trafford and you're not performing. Like a good brethren would just say, stop posting.
Allow the social media.
And try and get your game back. But
you're performing well on your socials.
And
the fans won't forgive you for that. They won't forgive you.
And that's in any sport. Any sport when you're thinking a joint up, you got to have people around you to say, put your phone away, my friend. Just when you get there, just get your head in the game, man, because you're not playing well. You've gone 4 or 5 home games and you've had absolute stinkers. You can't just then be arguing with the fans because we know what we're seeing. We're saying, you know what, go on his social and see how often he's posting. Come Saturday, you know what I mean? You might get a good 10 minutes out of him in a 90-minute game. It's not good enough. You're on close to 300 grand a week or whatever he was on then. That's just one example. So with this guy, give him some time to settle in. He's going to need a good 10 games to really feel the pace. And you watch how hard he gets tackled as well. They're going to try and rattle him. They're going to try and rattle him.
I mean, he's a big lad.
I think he can handle it.
I think he probably handled himself. Do you know what I mean?
And he wants to come as well, no? That's important.
And maybe he wants to prove, and he's got something to prove. You know what I mean? Which is good. If he's coming in that, and he's not going to be. Hopefully, he won't be phased by.
And remember, no, PSG offered him more money as well. He said no.
And he said no.
PSG, and they offered him way more money than us.
And I think
60 grand a week. 60 grand a week with us.
And I think that's good. The fact that it sends positive vibes to the fans to say this player wants to come there. So hopefully, the next stage now is for him to perform. Just have the patience to give him the time to perform.
And Ten Hag just use him right in the early games.
You
know what, 25 minutes to go. Go on, son. Have a run out and see how you feel. See if you could just slot in and just start to blend chemistry and all the rest of it. You know what I mean?
But listen, people.
Yeah, man.
We are come to the end to the show. Arsenal have won the Emirates Cup again. So happy about that. The pre-season is nearly over. A couple more games for yourself, D, and I'm assuming Tottenham have got a couple of games left.
Right, I don't know what's going on at Tottenham, mate. How many pre-seasons have you had?
Right, if off the top of my head, I would say around no less than 6.
What about you, D? About 8?
5 and then 2 to go.
We've had 2.
I think we've had 2. Yeah, but this was
I know one of the games was rained off, wasn't it?
Who goes to a monsoon place during monsoon season?
I know. Makes no sense, does it?
Yeah.
But then we played West Ham. We played West Ham, fair enough. But then the other team we played, something Lion Sailors or something. Singapore Lion Sailors.
I saw that.
Yeah, that's not a pre-season. What's the point in doing that?
And if you've only had 2,
and one of them's that, so we've basically played.
So in terms of your preparation, you don't think your preparation has been that brilliant?
Have you seen any defenders bought at Tottenham?
Nope.
Right.
That's not good, is it?
So we've not addressed the problem we've had for the last 5 years, and then we're playing West Ham in pre-season, just West Ham. That's it. It's ridiculous. We've got Shakhtar next week, and then
that's your last pre-season.
No, then we've got one more after that they've penciled in. I forget who it's again.
Okay.
But the preparation's no good whatsoever, and the fact that we haven't brought any defenders in is unbelievable.
And I suppose
Byron Sanchez.
Yeah, but the thing is, Chile, though, if you factor in, I know you would want Kane to stay, and I absolutely get that because he's your talisman, he's your best player, and you know, what I mean, he pretty much carries that team. But the thing for Kane, he's going to look at the whole picture. He's going to look at it and say, right, okay, pre-season hasn't been brilliant, been up and down, and it's not even really about results. It's just the whole preparation behind it. secondly, he wants to have reassurances, you know what I mean, that players are going to come in. Like
well, that's what he said. He wants to see what direction the club's heading in.
Right. So defenders and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And at the moment, I don't know if you was Harry Kane, then Chile, you'd be looking and going, what's going on here? Yeah. And you're looking across the waters, and there's Bayern Munich. They're 500 million times champions for the Bundesliga. And you're thinking, well, at least I could probably go there and win a title. They want me. That's the thing. They want me. So Tom playing under Thomas Tuchel, you know, all of these things, yeah. But at the same time, there's that whole thing of his family. There's a lot of questions and a lot of stuff that he has to factor in to say, I've got to weigh up now. Do I stay in England, sign a new contract, whether that's a year or whatever, or do I stay, run down my contract and go on a free and end up probably going to Chelsea or somewhere like that, or possibly Man United? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that would be a gut wrencher. I mean, and the fans won't forgive Levy for letting him do that. They would probably sooner say, you know what? And I think you would be the same. I'd sooner rather see him go to Bayern Munich. Get him out of the Premier League. Get him to Bayern Munich. Pay us the money. Yeah, I mean, but because
that's the best outcome, Norman.
It is the best outcome.
At the beginning of the window, I thought he was going United, and I accepted that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the fact that now he could be leaving the Premiership, I'll take that all day long.
Yeah. Well, you know what? If you look at the Bayern thing, if he goes to Bayern are looking at winning the Champions League if they get Harry Kane. Like the league is almost a given for them. You know what I mean? They're always there or thereabouts. If he goes there, they're saying this guy takes us over the edge to win the Champions League. If he goes there with the Champions League, that's a big deal for me. If he goes,
you know what? I think if they add him as an acquisition to their squad, and the players around him, do you know what I mean? I think they do have a better chance of going further and maybe possibly winning the Champions League. Do you know what I mean? So so he's got to sit down and weigh up all of this, right? And obviously he's probably laid down a marker to say, well, look, you know, the Premier League, you know, they kick off on the 12th of August, I think. So if he's not signed by Bayern Munich or if Tottenham have not accepted an offer by the time the Premier League starts, then I can't be going through all this hassle. I need to have my mind focused, not putting Tottenham through all of this, and then we go again. And then it's just what happens now in that season, 2023-24 season, and see what happens with Tottenham. So we'll see. So it's again, as I keep ending with the show, it's interesting times ahead. You know, especially for Tottenham and Harry Kane. I think for us now, you know, hearing the news about Jesus, the Raya deal, you know, does that upset the apple cart with Ramsdale? Is he coming in to replace Ramsdale, some people think, or is it just competition? Then you've got the situation with Man United, do you know what I mean? The ownership and all of that. Hojlund coming in, you having to get rid of players like Maguire, Fred, McTominay, do you know what I mean? I think what people are saying is that for financial FFP, I think you need to get these guys into your books before you get Amrabat in and that. So, you know what I mean? So a lot of stuff, you know, in terms of our own individual clubs. As I said, the transfer window closes 1st of September. So hopefully
there's still
time. So, you know, it's just going to be interesting because the Premier League will start, and then, you know, it's going to be, you know, is he going to play? Is he be left out? Do you know what I mean?
This is what I was going to say, Norm. I actually personally don't like that the transfer window is still going on when our season starts.
I mean, a lot of managers.
Horrible. It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Really. Said, I think
or you just start the league later, Norm. Just start the league later.
Yeah. I think, start it later or whatever.
Or start the window earlier.
Start the window earlier, yeah. Because some managers are called to say, I think Arsene Wenger has been an advocate for this, is to say, for 1 month, you do your business. And then once you've done your business, bang, you start the thingy. You get your players in that thingy. Yeah, but, you know, it is the fans, the media, they like all of this, innit? Will he go?
Yeah.
Will he stay? Who we getting? Everybody gets hyped up, you know. And I think why fans get hyped up now, and even we ourselves, when you say personal terms agreed, green tick, you know, you're thinking,
right,
whoa, yeah. And then you get somebody come out and say that they're nowhere near, you know, they're nowhere sorting out this deal. The man wants to stay at his respective club and whatever.
Yeah, because if you look at the Tottenham and Bayern Munich, I reckon they're like 25 million euros apart. That's too big, isn't it? That's too big. Yeah. Like, you got to go back to the table and say, okay, well, we want that, and you're 25 million this week. That's a lot of money.
Well, listen, they've got 10 days to sort it out before Harry Kane says, all right, forget it, I'm staying with Tottenham. So they need to pull their fingers out.
I would take 90 plus for him. 90 plus, and they can put in there if he wins the Champions League and the league, then
he comes in 5 million.
And those are realistic targets with Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
There you go, Jenny. 90 plus 5. So that's
not like Arsenal.
Maguire, Fred,
Rice.
And 25 million.
Why man's in the basement looking for players, you know?
Listen. Look. I mean. I suppose by the end of this window, I suppose the big question is: Will Maguire be at West Ham? Will McTominay be at West Ham? Will Fred be either in the Saudi league, or will probably someone like Fulham coming through or something like that? You know what I mean?
Take Cash and Shaw and 80 mil for Kane.
He's still going with that. He's still going. He's still going with that. He's still going with that.
And you know what? Them two will make a huge difference to your squad.
That's 100%. And that's what I'm saying. That you've got a very. If you get the Amrabat guy, mate, your midfield, mate, it's gonna be.
Yeah. And the thing is, right, and I said it to my brother yesterday. I don't want him playing Everest and Bruno together. It's one or the other for me, which is going to be interesting because one's got the number 7 shirt, one's got the captain's armband. Conundrums, you know what I'm saying?
Do you think he's the right guy to be your captain?
I'm not convinced. I think his temperament worries me.
Yeah.
He loses rag too often, man. It's like, bro.
Why don't you give it to Varane? What about Varane?
The injuries.
Oh, right, okay.
And I don't know how fluent his English is either.
What about
who else
Rashford
would have that kind of leadership quality?
You see, with Rashford, right? I already think the role's heavy on Rashford. The contract is heavy now. 325 a week. I think that's enough. You give him the armband, that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the other person would be
Give it to Lissandro.
Give it to
him. Listen, him small, but him Talawa.
You know what? Yeah. So Lissandro and see, if Eriksen was younger, I think Eriksen would be a good captain.
Yeah, definitely.
But you know what I mean, he's not going to play nowhere near the amount he played last season.
Well, listen, they've made the choice of Bruno. So
I don't know who the vice is. Yeah. I don't know who the vice is, but
he might rise to the occasion.
I heard it was Phil Jones.
He's going to be the vice captain from the stands, isn't it? You know what I mean?
But listen, people, we have gone 2 hours full, mate. I really appreciate everybody in the chat for contributing.
Yeah, man, big up the guys in the chat.
Please hit the like button, subscribe, and share if you are new. Chili, what are you doing with yourself? Are you on any other shows and doing any other chat shows?
I should be on Shigs' tomorrow if I can get out the fields in time.
What time is that?
He does his quite late, normally about 9:15.
Yeah. I've watched it when I've been on the road. I've watched it before when I've been on the road.
I know you're talking about different clubs. I think you looked at Arsenal one week. I think Chelsea was one week.
It could be Tottenham this week.
Is it Tottenham? Okay, might tune in for that one. Yeah. Well, actually. So, when is it? Tomorrow, Thursday?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be City then. But listen, people.
I had to think about that for a minute. Don't worry, if we don't get any defenders, I'm going to be City from the beginning, so then I don't want to hear nothing. I'll even go and get the shirt for D. D's determined to see me in that shirt.
On that bombshell, people, please hit that like button, subscribe and share it. We're out of here. Take care. God bless.
Yeah, guys,
and we'll see you on the next What's Going On podcast. Take care.
Yeah,